Hey guys. So today's Tuesday, January 8th, and I am here to talk to you about the importance of not just intention, that was last week, but the importance of knowing your why. So last week I dove into the importance of setting your intentions, and these are really important for you to create and to really understand and have them outlined before you dive into your goals so that you're really clear in the energy that's driving all of your actions, right? And today, what I want to talk about is the importance of your why. And the why is so important because it is literally the starting point that catalyzes all of your activity. And when you're not clear in your why, which is very, very common. Most people are not clear in their why. This is what leads to falling on and off the wagon with realizing your goals. So, this is a lot of the reason why many people would fail or not reach their goals or fall off track with their goals. It's because they're not clear in their why. And when you are razor clear in your why and you've done it in a way that serves you, so it really sets you up for success, then you set yourself up to realize your goals. So, why is it so important to have the why? Because here's the deal. As you are going through here's the deal. As you're going through the process of realizing your goals, creating your goals, putting your energy into the goals, without a doubt, you are going to be faced with trials, with you're going to be tested. There's going to be times when the external circumstances are not going to be what you want. And there's a really good chance that you could go into feelings of feeling defeated and getting deflated or giving up hope, falling off track. You're always going to have distractions by life and the circumstances of life. And the fact is that when you aren't razor clear and focused and connected to your why while you're in the process of realizing your goals, you're going to fall off track. So the first step before it's like you have an idea. Here's how I create my why when I'm doing anything. I first start with, okay, I want this goal. And the goal is whatever the goal is. I determine what the goal is. And then what I do is I play in my brain the scenario of how my life looks through the lens now that my goal is true and I've realized it. So it's like how I set it up is now that I've da 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 da. So, for example, now that this year, 2019, one of my goals is to publish my memoir. So I've written a book. It's a really great, it's a great story. Of course, I think it's a great story. I wrote it. Um, so it's a book. It's the memoir that shares the story of my healing journey after the loss of my mother, and how by actually going in and doing the deeper work, I was in a severe state of depression, really struggling, and as a result of not deciding to deciding to not go the pharmaceutical route and kind of find my way through it, I decided I wanted to actually do the work and dig through it so that I could heal what it was that was causing me to go down. And so I wrote a book, and I ended up going to India and traveling through Southeast Asia and really had an incredible life experience. And so I'm a fidgeter, so I'm fidgeting, sorry. So I wrote the book, and then it got shelved after I started my cleanse company. And I really got sucked into e-commerce and digital marketing and helping people heal their bodies. And meanwhile, this little story, which is like really like super true to my heart, it kind of got put on the shelf. So this year I decided I am taking it out to the world. And so as I've had to get clear on my why, right? And not just on I'm publishing my book, but why am I doing this? So I can stay connected, because first, it's not going to be an easy process, right? It's like I have to go through, I have to relive some of the stuff that was not really fun to experience as I'm going through the editing, et cetera, et cetera. And so there's going to be ebbs and flows and bumps, right? And then life is going to happen, and I'm going to want to get on an airplane and go on a fun trip and like get distracted. And so what I don't know myself very well. So what I've done is I got really clear in my why. And how I got clear in my why is I started to ask myself and put myself in the scenario of having, now that I've published my book, I am blah 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 blah. Now that my book is published, I am traveling the world facilitating transformational retreats and helping people heal and uplift their lives. Now that I've published my book, I am totally honoring the work of my heart and giving myself that voice and sharing my experience with the world, touching their hearts and hopefully helping inspire hope for them to create change in their lives as well. So you get the point, right? Like, so much of the why comes in understanding how your life is different now that the goal has been created. And so through that, you can go through that, and then you determine, oh my gosh, okay, that's my why. Those are the things that are my why. And you use that to stay really connected to the vision and the goal. And so that can fuel all of your energy that goes into the work that it takes to get from here to there. Because, like I said, it's going, like, life is going to happen. Already I've like started the editing process, and I've been invited to go on different trips, and oh my gosh, that sounds like so much fun. But guess what? I don't even feel like saying, when I say no, I don't feel like I'm missing out. I have no FOMO, and I have no energy around the fact that I actually want to be here focusing on my editing and making sure that I'm pushing forward the things that are important to me and true to my heart. So that is how you do it, right? And I remember when I was in the process of like times when I've done my detox, and man, I would struggle with sugar, right? Or like, this is sweet. And so never sugar, but sweetness in different forms of like stevia or dates or whatever it is. And I'd be going through the craving. And rather than listening to the craving, I would just put my focus on the why and the feelings that I wanted to have now that I'd said no to the things that I really know weren't in alignment with my goal, right? And so for me, the outcome was always like freedom, right? It's freedom. I'm no longer ruled by these cravings, by these addictions, by these things that are driving me. And not only that, but I have everything inside of myself to deal with any of the unresolved emotions and thoughts that are sort of being responsive, that are causing me to want to have these cravings. Because a lot of times the cravings they're either come from addiction, because your body is craving it, or your brain is trying to like latch onto something because it feels like it's missing something, or it wants comfort in something. So all of these things are just a product of you just got to get clear in your why, right? So now that, like, if I were doing the detox and I overcame these things, right? And I have a group cleanse starting in a week on, it starts on January 21st, and the registration closes on the 14th. So you can go to 21VIPcleanse.com to realize, read about it. But so once I've gotten to the other side, I know how I feel. I feel so empowered. I'm unstoppable, right? And now that now that I'm in my power and I'm totally unstoppable, I'm moving through my life in a completely different way, going after things that I have been holding back on, putting myself out in the world in new and meaningful ways, and having a greater impact. So that, knowing that why is so important, because that's what's going to keep you focused when life brings you lemons or distractions. Because, lemons can sometimes show up in the form of shiny, pretty things too. So that's the importance of knowing your why. That, I hope that helps you. I also shared with you how I create my why. and getting really clear in that, and then understanding how your life is different, and really lean into the feeling of how you feel now that you've already realized your goals, because that's your why. That's the feeling, and that feeling is really what's going to create the mojo for you to stay driven. So I hope that was helpful and that everything is going great, and I send you so much love.